Without the ocean, there is no life.
While Bill was developing business cases for Vancouver Island, he learned that seaweed was going to change the world. After an hour on the phone with one of Canada's most knowledgeable seaweed experts, Bill's entrepreneurial spirit was sparked, not because he needed a new project, but because of the positive social, environmental, and economic benefits this budding sector offered. Seaweed farming helps feed our growing populations, helps revitalize coastal communities, and reverses human impact on the oceans. Only 2% of our global food production comes from the ocean, but oceans cover 70% of our planet.
Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Welcome. I'm Christine Cuvelier of Culinary Concierge. As an executive chef and Canada's leading global culinary trendologist, I think about and taste the future of food. I help my clients launch on trend, on time, great tasting food and menu items. The definition of innovation is the introduction of something that tastes great, is good for you and good for the planet. And you know that could be the definition of seaweed. Cascadia Seaweed are leaders in the rising tide of seaweed innovation. For the past few months, I've been experimenting in my test kitchen, making products with seaweed in them that taste great, that are good for you and good for the planet. For the Seaweed Festival, I reached across Canada, coast to coast, and talked to all my chef friends. They've been experimenting in their kitchens with alaria and sugar kelp. Every day for the next 7 days of seaweed, log on, watch a chef video, be inspired by their recipes. Let's make this the year kelp is cool. And don't forget, it's all about taste, taste, taste.
Hey, welcome. My name's Eric Pateman. I'm here with my daughter, Kira, who's here to help out today, and we're doing some recipes for the Cascadia Seaweed Festival. The first dish we're going to do today for you is an oysters kind of Rockefeller, except done with more Japanese style flavors. We're going to do it with a miso mayonnaise and utilizing Cascadia seaweed, the sugar kelp that we've got right here. As you can hear in the background, we've got some oysters already popping here on the grill. So we're gonna actually take some more of these oysters and pop them up here on the grill. And you can actually see how they're starting to cook and just heat through. We don't wanna overcook these. We just wanna get them a little bit warm. And then these ones are already shucked, but if you wanna do one and actually just put it on the grill, it'll actually open on its own just with the heat on the grill. So nice and simple. As we're doing these, we're going to take some of this bull kelp, or this sugar kelp, and we're actually going to put it on, which it's kind of like a bull kelp. We're going to put this on, and in place of spinach, so typically you would use spinach for something like this, so we're going to actually use a little bit of seaweed instead. So we're just going to pop a little bit of this on here. Do you want to do this for me, Kira?
Sure.
Sure. Just pop a little bit on each oyster. And then while she's doing that, I'm going to start making a little miso mayonnaise to go on top here. So in our bowl, we've got some Japanese mayonnaise. So we're going to pop a fair bit of this in here. And I'm gonna give you a recipe at the end of all of this as well. So no worries about trying to follow in the ingredients at this point. Some Japanese miso paste. This is a white miso. You can use red miso. And you want about a tablespoon of this. Sticky things. We're gonna put some shoyu in here, or some soy sauce, Japanese soy sauce. Brand new bottle, still got the lid on it. Give that a little mix. Into this, we're also going to add some maple syrup. We're using Pateman and Webb, a really cool maple syrup from Quebec. And the syrup kind of melds out that salty flavor that you get from the seaweed. You can see on our grill top here, we've got all of our things are bubbling away and doing their thing. I'm going to throw a little bit more mayonnaise in here. So we got mayonnaise, miso paste. Right now, a little bit of tamari or shoyu, Japanese soy sauce, some maple syrup, and we're gonna put some okazu in, which is like a spicy chili miso. Because again, miso's got that really good umami flavor to it, and you can see this stuff's just like filled with flavor. So we're gonna load some of this in here. It's not too spicy, so it's great for just adding a bunch of flavor, and you can see how it turns it nice and beautifully red. All right, take this now, pop our little whisk over there, and we're gonna just take some of this and put it on top of each one of the oysters. Sort of bury our seaweed like we're burying it at the beach. You can hear those shells a-popping. You could do this on a barbecue too. You don't have to use a charcoal grill. You could put this onto a standard barbecue. You could actually bake these in the oven if that's even easier. There's lots of different ways to do this, and I'll give you all those options in the recipe. Excellent. So these are looking pretty good. And then to finish these off, we need my blowtorch. Kira, where is my blowtorch?
Inside.
But you can see as you're cooking these, you want to make sure you stand back a little bit, as these shells do pop a little bit. And again, if you wanted to, you can just pop the hinges off on these, and they'll actually open up if you don't want to shuck your own oysters. So. Awesome, the blowtorch is here. Perfect. So we're gonna finish these off just with a little torch, and we're gonna do the tops of these. And again, you could do these under the broiler in the oven. You just want to caramelize the top of that mayonnaise. These are going to be so tasty, but so hot when they come off. Just give each of these a little torch on top. So hot, so hot. Like I said, make sure you stand back a little bit. Perfect. So now that we've got these torched up, we've got a plate here with a little bit of rock salt on it. And we're just gonna take these and pop them on top. And the salt just helps hold them in place. Woo. Okay. And then we got the last one to go right smack dab in the middle. Just pop those down there. And if you want, you can grab your torch again. Just give them a little bit more color on top. And again, I would give these a couple of minutes before you go and dive into these, because these are going to be super, super hot. But super tasty. And we're good. And hopefully you will enjoy these as much as we do in our household. But again, so we've got our oysters here from the coast of BC, Cascadia seaweed. We're using the sugar kelp, Japanese miso mayo on top, and a little bit of torch just to finish them off. So enjoy, and we'll see you later with another recipe. Hey, it's Eric Pateman here from ESP Culinary Consulting for the Cascadia Seaweed Festival. We're going into recipe number 2 here. We've got some amazing Pacific scallops that we've got from up north. And we've got a grill going here, our Weber grill with our super hot pan. And we're gonna do this with a brown butter sauce and a little bit of sugar kelp as well. So you can see our pan is super hot. We've got some nice sort of smoking hot, which is what you want for scallops. I'm gonna put some olive oil in here. Little towel here. So we've got our oil cooking here. And our scallops. So these scallops, look at the size of these things. You compare those to the size of my hand, gorgeous scallops. We're gonna pop these into our pan. The secret with scallops, at least my secret with scallops, is I really don't like overcooked scallops. So I only ever cook scallops on one side. I also lay them on top of paper towel, both on the top and bottom, and really dry them out, make sure that they get nice and dry, and suck out a lot of that moisture that's in them. So that when they cook, they don't release a lot of that excess moisture. The other thing, you never want to touch your scallops. Like, let them caramelize, let them get that nice golden crust on them. You can see there's definitely still some moisture left in there as they're spitting like crazy, right? So it doesn't take very long to get these things going here. And then while those are cooking, we'll take a look at our other ingredients that we've got over here. We've got some butter, some amazing Amola salt, some chopped garlic, some sugar kelp, some lemon zest, a little bit of lemon juice that we're going to use, and some flat leaf parsley that we've chopped up. So, and some black pepper, because black pepper makes everything better. So while these are cooking, we're going to be adding these into the pan at the end of this to finish these up. You can see, as you get really close to these, you can actually see the caramelization happening on the sides of these. So we're going to throw some of our butter in there now and get that going. And so when we say we're going to do a brown butter sauce, we want our butter to basically caramelize those milk solids. And the nice thing is, with the olive oil that's already in the pan, it helps actually keep it so that things don't overcook and your butter doesn't burn too quickly and brown too quickly. But you can see how you got that nice foamy brown butter. Scallops are doing their thing. And for me, I like my scallops. I'd rather have a scallop almost raw and rare and cooked all the way through. See, just so I can show you how these are coming together, like that beautiful caramelization. So into our pan, we're also going to throw some of our chopped garlic here. Some of our bull kelp, lots of our sugar kelp. And this is, typically you would do this with like sage. And then we've also got some lemon zest that we're going to top in here. It's a hot pan. As you can see, our sauce is now nice and caramelized and brown. And our scallops are perfect. So what we're going to actually do is pull these off the heat a little bit, put these over here, and then we're going to start basting our scallops. Just putting some of this nice butter right on top, just to warm these through. Again, we don't want to overcook these scallops, so we're just using this butter to warm through. And you've got that nice lemon in there. You've got the sugar kelp. You've got all these great flavors. See how that's all come together? And then I'm just gonna take our pan here. Go over and put our scallops in the shells. Look at that caramelization, it's so gorgeous. So these don't take very long to cook at all. And they're so, these are one of my favorite seafoods from BC. And look at that. The pan got an extra scallop. So we're gonna scoop over some of our butter again. You can smell that garlic, that burnt butter, and that seaweed. It smells like the ocean. And then to finish these off, just got a little bit of salt on top. Again, we're using the Amola sea salt. Some cracked black pepper. And then just a sprinkling of flat leaf parsley. And that's it. So again, real super simple. We've got some BC scallops, gorgeous scallop shells, a little bit of the sugar kelp, brown butter sauce, and Amola sea salt. So enjoy, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again as part of the Cascadia Seaweed Festival. Hey, it's Eric here again from ESB Culinary Consulting, and as part of the Cascadia Seaweed Festival, we're just finishing up with our third recipe here, and on our grill we've got a gorgeous tomahawk steak that we're just finishing up grilling here, that we've covered in this amazing charcoal rub from Sebastian's. So this is Sebastian's Butchery in downtown Vancouver and West Vancouver, and we've coated our great grilled tomahawk steak here in that. So we're gonna let that rest, and while we're letting that rest, we're gonna make a seaweed chimichurri to go with this, or a seaweed inspired chimichurri. I guess you can't really call it chimi if it's got seaweed in it, but we're definitely gonna go in that direction. So we'll let our steak rest. And as you can see here, we've got all of our ingredients ready to go to make a little chimichurri-esque style sauce to go with our beautiful steak here. So for our steak and for our chimi, we're going to start with a couple types of seaweed. We've got this one here. This is the sugar kelp. This is the one that we've used in the other two recipes as well. And what I've done is, for this recipe, I've actually dried it out and intensified the flavor of it. So we're going to put a little bit of our sugar kelp in here. And then the other seaweed we're going to use is called alaria. And we've got, it comes in these beautiful, gorgeous sheets. And you can, it smells like the ocean. So we've actually taken some of that and we've dried it out as well. And it almost looks like nori, that seaweed that you see on all your sushi. So we've got our two types of seaweed in there. We're gonna add in some diced shallot. Some chopped garlic. And then some red pepper. And this is a sweet red pepper, but you could use a spicy red pepper if you wanted to. Your preference, if you like it. If you like it hot and spicy, make it hot and spicy. And then more of the traditional fashion of an Argentinian style chimi, we've got some fresh oregano we're putting in here. And then a bunch of flat leaf parsley. So we've got our seaweed, our shallots, our garlic, our oregano, our flat leaf parsley, some red pepper. In here we're also going to put some salt. Oops. And some cracked black pepper. Got some olive oil going in here. And it's nice and cold out here today, so my olive oil is running very slow, kind of dribbling into the bowl, but chimney needs lots of olive oil, so, and it'll go really well with the fattiness of our steak as well. So got our olive oil going in here, and then with our olive oil we're going to use a Pinot Noir balsamic. So this is an aged balsamic from the Okanagan Valley, and you could use, typically red wine vinegar would go into a chimichurri, but I like this one as in with the seaweed and the saltiness of the seaweed. This Solera actually has a little bit more sweetness to it, more of that balsamic style, and will actually give us a really nice addition and sort of balance out the flavor profiles in this dish. So as you can see, there's lots of olive oil going in here. Keeps on going. A little bit of the Pinot Noir balsamic again, or red wine vinegar if that's what you've got. And then we're going to pop in a little bit of lemon juice as well. One of the secrets to get more juice out of your lemons is to give them a quick roll. And you'll get probably twice as much juice out of your lemon if you do that. So there's lots of seeds in this little lemon here, so we're going to use our hands to catch all the seeds. And in our lemon juice goes. And that's looking good already. So we've got our spoon. Give it a quick stir. Oh, that looks so good. And then we've got our steak here. So we're gonna take our steak off the bone. You can see it's my family likes it nice and rare. Don't overcook your steak. So we got that going in there. Take this and go across the grain. And this rub from Sebastian's just adds the most amazing flavor to your meats. I don't think we're allowed to have steak anymore without having this rub on it. So pop some of this onto our plate here. You can see. We picked up this steak at Tenderland Meats on Granville Island, but you can also, Sebastian's one of the best butchers in town. Tenderland's great, Armando's is great on Granville Island. So if you're in Vancouver and looking for a great butcher, any of those three would be great choices. And then our steak again. Beautiful looking steak. Wipe my hands off here. And then just to finish this off, we've got our chimney here. And you can smell the seaweed coming out in this as it hits the hot steak. It's just perfect. So, and that's it. So enjoy, and thank you guys again for having me be part of the Cascadia Seaweed Festival, and hopefully enjoy the recipes that we've put together for you. Have a great day.